Colin Kaepernick wears a fake news fro. Have you ever seen a biracial afro that large before? Slash from Guns N' Roses tried to grow it out, and it was a total flop. Lenny Kravitz, another biracial Hebrew, never made it bounce that way. And Nike, if they really care about the mantra Black Lives Matter, then they should have Fake News Fro introduce a new Nike ad campaign that says, just don't resist arrest. Can I get a holla for some A-plus Gemery? The best is yet to come. If you're offended so far, then go woke yourself. Holla. Thank you very much. I have 3 kids. I've aged well, I know. My wife hasn't sucked the life force out of my face just yet. Despite constantly bemoaning, I've sacrificed. She acts like an aspiring comedian in his late 20s, wanted kids ever. I also have to endure lines such as, if I give the baby booby now, he'll be on the boob all night long. And I'll fire back with, all of a sudden, your tits have more important places to be? Just be content that your foamy, torn up nips are getting any attention at all. Just the other day, I tried to sample my wife's tits for all time's sake, which I regretted immediately because I totally forgot about the fact that 3 unplanned kids later, because I never mastered the art of the pump fake, my wife's nips permanently taste like a regrettable non-fat latte. Holla! Thank you very much! So my wife claims that my baby gets bored whenever he spends too much time with her. And my immediate thought was, I always knew the kid was a quick learner. This past summer, I gave up drinking beer because it got very concerning, spending so much time hungover, recycling, empty reminders of my lusciousness as entire Rocky marathons and AMC passed me by. I also had to give up smoking weed, especially after I thought my oldest was asleep already, because I feel like a complete moron trying to answer her questions on it. For example, one time she said, so Daddy, if God created the universe, and who created God? And I said, God went back in time in a time machine made by Elon Musk. My daughter says, that's really convincing, Dad. Thanks for making me an atheist at 4. Every night these days, my daughter asks me, Daddy, what do you do after you put me to sleep? And I'll always get incredibly cagey and ultra defensive and snap back with, I squeeze in some me time, all right? I call her 2 younger brothers stud alerts on the loose because her older brother, Archer USA, is already getting love poems from like everyone in his class, and his younger brother, Chosen Curls, is bound to, woo! Will be bombarded by Italian grandmas at the local like Stop and Shop. So first we'll see like that weird like robot from Stop and Shop, and I'll say, hey Samuel, don't make fun of LeBron or else he'll report you to China. And then a grandma will approach us and she'll say to my son, you are so gorgeous. When you get older, you're going to have 3 girlfriends to juggle. And I'll chime in and say, no offense, lady, but if James Woods had this kid's face, your estimates wouldn't be so conservative. The other thing I always hear whenever I'm out with my 3 kids, because my wife works as a nurse, she works at nights. She works in the NICU and in labor delivery. So she checks vital signs on blue-faced babies for a living, which makes me feel like a total narcissist because all I check for is for retweets. That is before I got kicked off Twitter for insisting on Twitter that the Chinese have resisted Wuhan lab investigations more than Aquafresh. So my son, Chosen Curls is bound to woo, is constantly bombarded, and whenever he is bombarded by these grandmas, or let's say a younger, slightly more fit, younger fetching snatch, I'll say, for the record, kid, when they flirt with you, they are also flirting with me because you stem from your dad's doodle dad tree trunk. Holla! Thank you very much! But the best thing, and then moving forward, there is no way that I am sending my two sons, stud alerts on the loose. There's no way I'm sending them to junior high school without their own personal lawyers to accompany them wherever they go to hand out pre-packaged consent forms. and but the best thing about having children, particularly sons, is that they'll point out to you whenever you're being a slacker. Like, for example, the other day, my son says, Daddy, why didn't you go on the treadmill today? I said, I sprained my knee yesterday. I didn't want to push it. And my son says, enough with the excuses, Daddy. You're worse than Hillary. Memo to the New York Times. When Hamas fires 4,000 rockets into Israel's backyard, don't expect an edible arrangement gift basket in return, written in Farsi with all the hardened pineapple pieces chucked into the Red Sea. Holla! Thank you very much! It's at Costco the other day, and this Karen approached me. She says, wear the mask. And I said, not until you suck the white privilege out of my chosen schlong first. But I'll make it easier for you, Karen. Pretend Obama ordered you to leak it. And for the record, Obama is the one who loves Hitler. He wishes he was that organized. Mass extermination of all of his Jewish journalist critics who bashed his nuke gifting deal to Iran would be a gas. I know, I'm being a paranoid Joe. Obama gave $150 billion to Iran to create overseas manufacturing jobs in Iran for Build-A-Bear, to make their economy less reliant on the sale of hair removal products for the Kardashians. And for the record, there's no way that Bruce Jenner was asexual when he was married to Kris Jenner, but I'm positive he was able to stay erect longer after he convinced her to cut her hair short so she could look more like a dolled up Ralph Macchio. Can I get a holla for jokes Gen X dads understand? You're welcome. Holla. Thank you very much. So imagine Thanksgiving at the Obamas this year. Obama says to his daughter Malaya, Malaya, you barely touch your tofurkey. And Malaya says, Dad, all my friends at school want to know, why did you let me intern for Harvey Weinstein? And Obama says, Michelle was your chaperone on the set. And that fat Jew couldn't pin down Michelle if he tried. When the Lakers lost last night in the first round against Phoenix, do you think Obama scurried into like his man cave in Martha's Vineyard to reach for his like secret supply of like almond joys, hid behind an enormous box of duct tape from Costco? Holla! Thank you very much! I'm an ex-Knicks fan myself. Knicks are my first love. Yet it's an arranged marriage that my father forced on me. Although, unfortunately, I'll never have a dowry or a ring to show for it. And I don't really care about this so-called career resurgence involving Carmelo Anthony. He should still be the spokesperson for Tampax tampons. Name another NBA player responsible for stopping so much flowage. And ex-Knicks star, Kristaps Porzingis, there's no way that he is guilty of raping a girl in his apartment building the day he tore his ACL. For starters, going strong to the hole was never KP's forte. Second, do you really see Harvey Hairclumps Weinstein or that kid from the 70s show trying to rape Gail Gadot on only one good leg? But in related news, I heard that Harvey Weinstein's wife, after they were married for like 15 years, she finally decided to divorce him to focus on her lifetime battle with amnesia. You know, growing up, I would have loved to have had LeVar Ball as like a sub-coach dad during my puberty years to make sure that I lost my virginity before my younger brother did. To make sure that I felt like a bigger baller inside and didn't like prance on the basketball court on my tippy toes, looking like I was running in high heels instead of high tops. While LeVar Ball would bark from the sidelines, "We're trying to sell ball-aware, son, not Jimmy Choo's." He'd throw me house parties and only invite stuck-up Jenny from the block. You know, before she danced in a stripper cage and put her kids in fake news cages during the Super Bowl, you know, hoping Ben Affleck would drunk dollar again. So stuck up Jenny from the block comes over to the house party. The LeVar Ball throws in my honor for a game of spin the bottle. 2 seconds into the party, LeVar Ball gets up in Jenny's ear and says, "The Yoo-Hoo bottle doesn't spin itself, bitch." Holla! Thank you very much! Is it me, or does Robert De Niro on The View these days look like Betsy Ross falling apart at the seams? And if Google doesn't manipulate search results, then why is it harder for me to find positive mentions of Still My President Trump than it is to find a film blogger on Rotten Tomatoes who called The Irishman underrated? I love my new Trump GPS system, which continues to make ball busting great again. On your left is Mohican Sun, Elizabeth Warren's Home Away from Home. Carlos Santana said Trump has dark energy. Yet Hillary, Hammer Time Cankles, is the best-selling voodoo doll in Haiti year after year. Plus, Trump doesn't need to drop acid to see who's full of shit, Carlos. And I also recall reading that Chelsea Clinton had used $3 million from the Haitian Relief Fund to pay for her wedding. But at least she's not ugly on the outside anymore. My wife says it's sexist to make fun of Chelsea Clinton, but she's not even ugly anymore. Plus, I think Chelsea Handler and saggy tit Sarah Silverman are divisive twats on Twitter too. That's right. And now they're both full-time social justice warriors to detract the world from their tits sagging popularity. Hillary, aka Huma Liquor Breath, Hammer Time Cankles, claims that 30,000 of those deleted emails were yoga related. It is a stretch. I think she said that the other emails detail funeral arrangements in the woods in case Chelsea's neutered fiance decided to increase his asking price while walking down the aisle at the last sec. A man is judged by the fruit he enables, like Hunter Biden, aka Sir Snort-a-Lot, who only hears last call from the bathroom stall. For his birthday, when Jill said blow, he snorted the cake before he gave up blow for blow painting, allegedly, before he got paid 52 grand a week from a Ukrainian energy company to push borscht as the new kombucha. So, that Hunter, just so we're clear, if his dad, Mr. Groper, is such a man of integrity, then why did he never tell his son to cut out smoking crack, knocking up strippers, and creaming in his dead brother's wife 2 seconds after the cremation ensued? But we're supposed to believe Biden got the most votes in U.S. history. Yeah, and Michelle Obama felt bad about peeing on the ceiling fan within the Lincoln bedroom before Trump got inaugurated. For later that day, the Donald comments to Melania and says, "Is this what She-Hulk meant when she said, when they go low, we go high?" Still offended? Then go woke yourself. Thank you very much.